The chlorine was a bit of an issue, I have to say. That night, my sight was like foggy, and I was like, damn, I hope I haven't damaged my retina from this adventure in the chlorine pool.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I mean, respectfully, I mean, it was worth it, man, because that scene was incredible. I'd never seen anything like it.
As an independent filmmaker, your best shot at sort of trying to break through to the general audience is to do something Hollywood would never make. Hollywood would never touch this subject matter in this way.
Writer, actor, and new face of horror, Lukas Hassel joins us today for an epic conversation. He's got a new movie called The House of Abraham. Super excited, guys. Let's do it. Mr. Lukas, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. The House of Abraham. This movie is definitely getting a lot of attention. I love this movie. I've seen it several times already. You wrote the film, you worked with director Lisa Belcher. Both of you, rock stars. And you guys are getting a bit of a cult following, man. What does that feel like?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how it's featured on sort of the top 10 indie sort of discoveries of this year for sort of cult horror films. And so that's been super exciting. But like when you start out this weird journey of creating a film, you really do it because you think it's something new, something worthwhile for us. And then you have to sort of let the chips fall where they may once you release the film, and you hope people respond to it, of course. But Lisa Belcher, as you mentioned earlier, she's a complete rock star. We worked together in film before. We did a short film called Guest of Honor together, and so decided to try to create this feature. And I wrote the script well knowing that it was a little bit outside of the box. I'm a big believer in, as an independent filmmaker, your best shot at sort of trying to break through to the general audience is to do something Hollywood would never make. Hollywood would never touch this subject matter in this way. And so I think that's your best shot, because otherwise you're competing with them with bigger budgets, bigger stars, bigger everything else. And so why not do something a little different? And that's what we set out to do with House of Abraham.
That's awesome, man. Well, congrats to you both. And from Guest of Honor to Abraham, I mean, two completely different characters, right? You see the range, you see the talent. Let me ask you this. When you were writing Abraham, I mean, was this character just random and new, or is this kind of a compilation of Lucas material that you've been wanting to get out there?
That's a great question. I would say, so my bread and butter as an actor is in the sort of villain world, really. I mean, that's where I tend to get cast a lot. So Guest of Honor was like the outlier, the outlier in that sense, that I got to play like a decent human being, which we suspect is not a decent human being, and then it turns out, spoiler alert, that he probably is. So in Guest of Honor at least. But in House of Abraham, I know villains because I play them a lot, and sometimes they're very one note. And so if I had the luxury of writing it myself, I wanted to make sure to write a villain that was layered and that you had aspects of that you could sort of identify with, even if they are harsh, even if some of the things that comes out of Abraham's mouth, they're kind of outlandish and outrageous. There's always a hint of, there's a reason behind what he's saying. Some of the thoughts, you got life without asking for it, you can give it back, which is crazy, but kind of true, right? So I was always very adamant to make sure that he came from a real place, even if he turns out to be, I suppose, a bit of a psychopath. Let's call it what it is, yeah.
It's not dignified, what you're doing here. Drinking, joking, like this is some sort of a game.
Does death have to be so serious? You got life without asking for it. You can give it back.
Love that line. And the dialogue is so clever. It's so well written. I mean, you definitely mastered this character. And when Abraham is introduced, this was also my introduction to you as an actor. And I mean, that whole dinner scene is just phenomenal. I mean, your delivery was just epic, man. Everyone arrives at the house. You explain, what's going on, why they're there. And then you want everyone to take a shot and eat. But Abraham doesn't drink or eat. I mean, was that intentional? Are you messing with these people?
That's well observed. Not everybody picks up on that. For me, the introduction of Abraham there, he was never meant to be part of the group. Hence, I didn't feel the need for him to sit and have a meal with them. He was meant to come in, welcome them, and then head off to his own thing and make sure that group of soldiers, as he calls them, that they connect, because he's going to be the captain of that soldier group. And so he doesn't need to be everybody's best friend. He needs to be the one to jump in when he can see they're weakening on their resolve over here, or weakening So it's a lot of spinning plates for him to make sure that everybody goes through what they came there for. And that's what's in it for him in many ways.
And for you personally, I mean, I can't even imagine, I mean, the feeling, man. I mean, you're working on a movie that you wrote with your friend, you know, the director, Miss Lisa, and then I was told that you know Natasha, Lynn, you've worked with them before. I mean, you've got some pretty epic friends, man.
One of the hardest things is to cast it right, you know, and I have to give a lot of credit to Lisa for casting it beautifully and doing a great job with that. But as with anything, you're on a very intense journey with a lot of different people. And just sometimes I would look around and I'd go like, wait a second, I wrote that line. I created this. I created this weird thing we're doing right now. This is nuts. That for me sitting in my usual corner in Starbucks where I write with my headset on, to having it happen around me is really surreal, and it was a beautiful thing to see it come together. Natasha is the one I worked with first. We met on a production in Pennsylvania on a feature we shot there, and we played husband and wife in a film called Seventh Secret, and we just hit it off right away. We just really connected. We have the same sense of humor. She's very smart and very talented, obviously, and so she's just a kind-hearted person. I generate towards kind people a lot. That's a big thing as Lucas. I love when I can see kindness in people, and I'm a great reader of character, I think. So I trust people when I sense that, and then others, I'm always nice and polite, but I sort of take my time letting people get closer. But Natasha got straight in straight away, and we became great friends. And so then we ended up working on a project in LA. And so we made another film, then we made a third film. And so at that point, we were really good mates. And then on one of those projects, Lynn was also working on a film called The Black Room, directed by Rolf Konevsky. And so I met Lynn there, and I just saw this legendary rock star of a character who was, you know, truly a force of nature. When I wrote the script, actually the only one I wrote a part for directly was Lynn Shay. I wrote Beatrice with her in mind, and knowing I could get the script to her, my hope was that she would dig the script and that she would agree to come on board. And she was actually the first one to commit, which was a great indicator to myself and Lisa that we were doing something right, and that gave us a lot of momentum to move forward with that. And then Natasha was just one of those. I knew she would rock the role, but I also know that she's someone who works a lot. She's a very busy actor. And so when I got the script to her, I was thrilled that she basically said she couldn't put it down. And so she came on sort of pretty late in the production. But of course, I think to a certain extent plays probably the hardest role in the film. She's walking a tightrope of a lot of difficult situations, and I think she just handled that beautifully. And of course, as you can tell with Lynn, she brought extra layers to the character of Beatrice that even I couldn't have hoped for. And so under the well-experienced guidance of Lisa, who's really someone who excels with working with actors, I think that's one of Lisa's special skills, is that she very quickly realizes that not every actor works the same way. So she's a master reader in that sense. And that, of course, makes everybody feel at ease on a set. And so I think the best work you get out of actors is when the set is calm and friendly.
That's amazing. And when you look back, I mean, now that the movie is done, it's out. I mean, it's had time to marinate a little bit. What's your favorite scene?
That's a great question. I've not been asked that before. That's a tough thing. I think one of my favorite scenes is just, I love the scene when I sit down with Natasha by the staircase and we talk about her medication. It's a very clean, very simple scene, and it feels like two adversaries playing a weird little chess game together in that moment. I'm sensing her out, and she's definitely testing me out at the same time. And it's the one point in the movie where we're almost equals for a split second, where everywhere else I clearly have the higher status. I'm running the show, making the decisions and so forth. But in that scene, we're sort of like testing each other out. So for me, it's just, as an actor, I enjoy those scenes when two people are essentially battling for power in a very subtextual way. And so I love that scene.
It's a great scene. I mean, both of you rocked it out. I mean, the concept overall is just so awesome. It's so powerful. And I mean, the pool scene is powerful. Was that in the original script?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was almost like a deal breaker scene for me, because I knew that there was talks about cutting it at some point, just because it's an expensive scene. We had divers and stunts, and it's a whole production thing, but it was crucial because it really sets up the second half. There's been so much talk, so much slow burn, so much building up of everything, and if you don't have that jolty, whoa, this is real moment, then that tone is going to carry on for another hour. So I really knew just from a structure and pacing, I'm a filmmaker myself, I knew that the film needed that to sort of catapult the rest. And then the film rolls on from then. Then I'm not worried about pacing because then it takes care of itself. But if you had lost that, I think the film would just have lost its engine in some ways. And I think every film you can sort of figure out what is that engine that really pushes the film off. And in this case, it is that pool scene.
It's very powerful, very intense. I mean, all the facial expressions in the water and everything. I mean, it was crazy. And even before you guys get into the water, the reaction that you have when Jonathan's character goes and rings the bell. I mean, you see this like excitement in Abraham's. It's like it's going down. It's going to happen. And so all the buildup. I mean, it was really good, man.
The chlorine was a bit of an issue, I have to say, because we're after a whole day in there underwater. That night, my sight was like foggy, and I was like, damn, I hope I haven't damaged my retina from this adventure in the chlorine pool. But overnight, it sorted itself out, and it was not a problem.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. And I mean, respectfully, I mean, it was worth it, man, because that scene was incredible. I'd never seen anything like it, especially the way it played out. I mean, in the daytime, I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, congrats to you, congrats to the entire Abraham team. And the fact that you wrote all of this stuff is it's just even more, it's just crazy, man. And I mean, when you look back at your career, you know, whether it was early on or up until Abraham, is there a specific role or moment when you really felt that that this is who you were supposed to be and this is what you were supposed to do? Kind of that living the dream, Lucas living the dream moment.
Now, I remember a particular production with a great theater director called Michael Scott, where I got to play actually Lucifer. So maybe that was an omen for what was to come. There was a monologue written for me for that show that was just, it was written in rhyme, and it was wild, and I had to hold the stage for that entire monologue as Lucifer, and it was incredible. I brought the house down every night because it was just such a well-written piece, and I had such joy performing that. That I thought, yeah, I'm doing this is what I'm meant to be doing, for better or for worse. And that was before I had started writing. I was just realizing that regardless of whether I was good at it, it felt like in that moment I was, but I also really, really enjoyed it. And so I knew that I was doing something right. And just in general, I'm not a real 9-to-5 kind of guy in that sense. Like I was never in it for the money, but I also knew I wasn't going to fit into like the regular office job, because money was never going to drive me. I wasn't looking for that big house or for that big car or for that, Malibu property on the water. It was always for the experience. And I like that change of environment and change of people I would work with that this career has brought me.
Well, you're super talented. You're an amazing writer. You're an amazing actor. I do have one last question for you, Mr. Lucas. What advice would you give to the up-and-coming actor, writer, artist? I mean, anyone with a dream looking to get into the industry?
I think there's a misconception a lot of the time for new young actors and new young artists that if I get this agent, if I only get that manager, they're gonna get me the roles, whatever. But it's important to get a manager and an agent for sure. And I've been very lucky in that department, but you gotta create your own fortune, right? You gotta create your own destiny, so to speak. Create your own projects. If you don't feel like you're getting the parts that you wanna get, or that people don't see what you're capable of, then gather a little team, write a little short film for yourself, figure out a DP who can help you shoot this thing, and then shoot it for nothing in your mom's basement. And at least you're going to end up with a 6-minute short film that you feel like that shows a character that I would never have been cast in otherwise. And then you can submit it to a few festivals and see if it lands. And if it doesn't land, well, it probably wasn't very good, but then you make another one. And that stuff you can always do. There's no excuse for laziness in a sort. There's no excuse for letting other people do the work, thinking, well, now I have it set, now I can just sit back and let it happen. You always got to look out for that better script, that better role, that person you want to work with, that person on a set that I can see, well, that AD knows what they're doing. I'm going to note that AD because I want to work with that assistant director on my own project. That actress nailed it. Oh, that was not so good. I would never work with that person again. So you constantly assess and create a team of projects and ideas of stuff. So that is my biggest advice. Never get lazy. Always create your own destiny, and keep your nose to the grindstone.
So epic. Mr. Lucas, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Super congrats on all your incredible work, talent, and success.
Thank you so much, man. Listen, I really appreciate your support, and I love that you love the film. And you know, for independent films like ours, we rely on gentlemen like yourself to get the word out there, and it's really heartwarming when people respond to the hard work that we've done in this case. And I'm happy our paths crossed.
Likewise, I appreciate it, and I'm definitely going to check out some of your other work, man. So congrats again. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out House of Abraham. It's streaming pretty much on every major platform, or you can go to moviesinc.com and get your Blu-ray or DVD copy today. Watch, share, enjoy, support indie film. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.